Okay, Charlie, it arrived. I'm glad I was able to help you get this one pulled in here. So anyway, it's here. It is. It did not want to open. It is the seller said, "Oh, it's never been opened as far as I know. I bought it from a gentleman in his 80s, and it doesn't run, or it runs and stops." Okay, all right. Well, that's fine. Normally, I would have this on a time grapher, but it's running so poorly I can't really get a signal on it. I definitely I have it running now, but I can feel that the mainspring is just super duper gluey. So I'm sure the mainspring is the grease is going to be old and dried and filled with gruck. There are a few things we need to talk about in terms of condition. Very, very, very typical things. It's running weakly because it's unserviced. Also, the winding bridge, which is this plate right here, which has the ball bearings under here, it's loosened up, and so the 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 weight is loose because this pivot is loose. So what's happening is you can see the brassing right here, and there's brassing here on top of the plate there. So what's happening is this weight, as it's been spinning, has been grinding along the tops of these. It's been grinding along the tops of these plates and setting up these just clouds of microscopic metal dust, which has gotten everywhere. So that's obviously an issue. We're going to have to talk about this bridge. 6105B marked bridges are extraordinarily hard to find. Extraordinarily hard to find. Which is unfortunate because they're one of the things that sometimes needs attention. Now, I can replace this bridge with a 6106 or 6119. They're functionally identical. They're exactly the same in every way. It's just that the number is different. Instead of a 5, it has a 6. Instead of a 05, it has a 19. They're so you'd have to know what you were doing to look at the bridge to know that it was any different. They were made on the same line by the same machines to the same specs and the same standards. In many cases, I mean, the 6106 was considered a higher end watch, especially in the 25 jewel version. It's the base caliber for this model. So, if it were my watch, I would swap it out with a much better condition 6106 bridge without even thinking. I wouldn't even hesitate to do it. The watch is also going to need some help here. You can see it's got some wear on the around the top of the around the top of the mainspring here. And what that is the lower mainspring arbor port is incredibly worn, and so the whole barrel is twisting sideways and starting to impact the train bridge. So that's going to have to be dealt with. I've gotten it to run now. It's running fairly consistently. It's just you can just tell. I mean, the seal is flat and as hard as plastic. The watch is completely original. I mean, heck, it's got its original waffle strap. This was a working watch. It lived a working life. I'm not surprised that it's considered a one-owner watch. I can see these tool marks in the case back. Someone definitely tried to get this open. They didn't try very hard, though. That's a blessing. And so it's got a couple little tool marks on there. I can try to polish that down a little bit, but I really don't do casework. The insert's beautiful. The case brushing is nice. Definitely a little bit of water got in, probably past this bad crown seal. And so you have some coloration issues on the loom for the hands. I'm not sure what your end goal is, to have a watch be entirely original or to look pretty. If it were my watch, I would try to minimize the appearance of these few little black flecks in here, which I certainly can do. Clean those up a little bit. They're not going to go away, but I can make them look less. I might consider relooming these hands. If they were just toned down a little bit, I might be inclined to leave them. I'd probably reloom the handset and the white tip here. I'd leave this pink. That pink original I'd leave. Those three things I'd reloom, and I'd clean up the dial a little bit. Please note the original Type 2 crystal in place there. The quintessential 6105 crystal, in my opinion. And of course, you've got your original waffle strap. That's a valuable piece. Boy, I've seen a few of these recently. It's amazing. It's a little stiff, but it's not bad. It doesn't feel bad. The original waffle strap, that really is something. My recommendation is to not use this, but put this away and buy a reproduction from Uncle Seiko, and he sells on eBay under Uncle Seiko. Anyway, there it is. I think our way forward is pretty clear. Notice now that I've gotten it winding, that it wound up, that it is running consistently. It's not stopping. It's just that the winding bridge is loose. It's not winding efficiently, and the watch really needed to get coaxed back to life. So obviously it's a running watch. With love, this thing will be fine. Okay, thank you.